Hi, this is Josh from MYOB Enterprise Solutions. This video is a look at some of the options available for generic inquiries in MYOB Advanced. The features in this video were introduced in the 2019.1 release of Advanced. A generic inquiry is an easy way for you to get to your data and manipulate the information to find the answers you're looking for. Generic inquiries can be sorted and filtered, and the filters saved for future use. You can also export generic inquiries to Excel. Generic inquiries can be configured to display information related to the selected record in a side panel. For example, when viewing sales orders, you can use the side panel to show the customer details for the selected order. As you select different orders, the details in the side panel update automatically. You can add a side panel to a generic inquiry on the Navigation tab of the Generic Inquiry screen. Add the screen whose details you want to display in the side panel, set up the parameters that should be passed to the panel from the generic inquiry, and set the window mode drop-down to Side Panel. You can add more than one screen to the side panel of a single generic inquiry. You'll be able to swap between each screen by clicking on the icons you select for them here. In this example, which shows the generic inquiry we just saw before, we've added the customer screen to the side panel of the sales order inquiry, passing in the customer ID from the sales order. If we now add the salesperson screen and pass in the ID from the sales order, we'll be able to view both the customer and the salesperson for an order on the generic inquiry screen. Here we can see the sales order's generic inquiry screen with the new side panel. Customer details for the selected order are shown by default, but you can use the icons here to switch between the different screens for the side panel, in this case customers and salespersons. You can highlight rows or cells in a generic inquiry in a range of colours. You can set a formula to determine the colour for each row by editing the Row Style field on the Results Grid tab of the generic inquiry screen, or colour individual cells by editing the Style column of the selected data field. When you're entering a formula, you can select from one of these style components to set the colour you want. In this case, we have a generic inquiry showing the most recent invoice for each customer. Entering this formula will highlight all customers who haven't bought from us in more than 3 months. Here's what it looks like when you view the generic inquiry. Because we entered the formula into the Row Style field, the entire row of each matching customer is highlighted. You can use more advanced formulas to set multiple conditions for highlighting inquiry rows. For instance, we could modify this example to highlight customers that haven't bought from us in 3 months in one colour, and customers who haven't bought from us in 6 months in another. And here we see the results of that formula. Another display option for generic inquiries is the ability to add totals to any column in an inquiry. On the Results Grid tab, select the Sum option from the Total Aggregate function column. Other aggregate functions like averaging or displaying a record count are also available. You can see that the generic inquiry now displays the total for the column we edited at the bottom of the screen. You can set up filters on any generic inquiry to make it easier to find the records you're looking for. As well as entering filter conditions manually, you can also use a pivot table to filter a generic inquiry. In the filtering area of the generic inquiry, select Save as Pivot from this drop-down. Enter a name for the new pivot table and click OK. The pivot table editing screen appears so you can set up the table to suit your needs. Once you're done, toggle the Edit button off and return to the generic inquiry screen. Your new filter is available as a tab on the generic inquiry. You can go back and edit it again if you need to make further changes. And that gives you a taste of some of what you can do with generic inquiries, but the possibilities are endless. Thanks for watching.